Have you ever been told that refusing to give up part of your body makes you selfish? This is the story of how my parents tried to sue me for not donating my kidney to my brother, how my entire family turned against me for asserting my right to bodily autonomy, and how I learned that sometimes saying no to family is the most important thing you can do. My name is Sarah. I'm 28 years old. And this is the story of the day my family tried to force me to give away my kidney. I need to tell you about my brother first. His name is Michael. He's 32 years old. And for most of our childhood, Michael was the golden child. He was the athlete, the popular one, the one my parents bragged about to their friends. Star quarterback in high school, full ride scholarship to college. Everything came easy to him. I was the quiet one, the bookish one, the daughter they forgot about when Michael had a game or an award ceremony or anything that required their attention. I'm not saying they didn't love me. They did. But Michael was special, and I always knew I came second. After college, Michael got a job in finance, made a lot of money, bought an expensive car, dated beautiful women, lived the life everyone dreams about. But behind the success, Michael had problems, big problems. He drank, a lot. Started in college and never stopped. By his late 20s, he was drinking every night. Hard liquor, multiple drinks, way more than anyone should consume regularly. He also did drugs, cocaine mostly, party drugs, the kind successful finance guys do in Manhattan bathrooms at expensive clubs, and he refused to admit he had a problem. When I tried to talk to him about it at a family gathering, he laughed in my face, said I was jealous of his success, said I needed to worry about my own boring life and stop judging him. My parents made excuses for him. Boys will be boys. He works hard. He deserves to blow off steam. He's just going through a phase that lasted 10 years. Last year, Michael collapsed at work, just fell over at his desk. His coworkers called 911. He was rushed to the hospital. The diagnosis was kidney failure. Years of alcohol abuse and drug use had destroyed his kidneys, both of them. He was in end-stage renal failure. The doctors said he needed dialysis immediately, and eventually a kidney transplant. My parents were devastated. Suddenly, their golden boy was mortal. Suddenly, all those years of partying had consequences. Michael started dialysis 3 times a week. It was brutal. He felt sick all the time, exhausted, depressed. His whole life revolved around treatment. He got on the transplant list. But the wait time for a kidney in New York is years, 5 years or more, and his health was deteriorating fast. That's when my parents started pressuring me. It started subtle. My mom calling me and casually mentioning that siblings are often good kidney matches. My dad sending me articles about living kidney donors and how it's a safe procedure. Then it got more direct. My mom called me crying. "Sarah, we need you to get tested to see if you're a match for Michael. He's suffering so much. You could save him." "I need to think about it," I said. "What's there to think about?" my mom asked. "He's your brother. You have 2 kidneys. You only need 1. "I know, Mom. But this is major surgery. There are risks. I need to talk to my doctor." "Your brother might die while you're thinking about it," she said. That made me angry. Don't put that on me. Michael did this to himself. Years of drinking and drugs. I warned him. Everyone warned him. He didn't listen. "How dare you?" my mom said. "He's sick. He needs help. And you're going to throw his past mistakes in his face? I'm just saying this is a consequence of his choices, and I shouldn't be obligated to fix it." She hung up on me. The next few weeks were brutal. My parents called constantly. My extended family started reaching out. Aunts, uncles, cousins. All of them telling me I needed to help Michael. My grandma called me in tears. "Please, Sarah, he's dying. You're the only one who can save him. Don't let your nephew die." "I don't have a nephew," I said. "Michael doesn't have kids." "You know what I mean," she said. "Don't let your brother die." I talked to my doctor, asked about the risks of kidney donation. She was honest with me. "It's generally safe," she said, "but it's still major surgery. There are risks of complications, infection, bleeding, blood clots, and you'll only have 1 kidney for the rest of your life. If something happens to it, you'll be the one who needs a transplant." "What are the chances something happens to my remaining kidney?" I asked. Small, but not zero. Kidney disease, injury, infection. Having only one kidney means you have no backup. And if I donate and then I need a kidney later, you'd go on the transplant list, just like your brother is now. So I could end up in the exact same situation he's in. Yes, she said. It's unlikely, but possible. I thought about that, really thought about it, and I realized I didn't want to take that risk. Not for someone who had destroyed his own kidneys through years of reckless behavior, not for someone who had never shown me any particular love or kindness, not for Michael. I called my parents and told them my decision. I'm not getting tested. I'm not donating my kidney to Michael. I've thought about it carefully, and this is my choice. My father exploded. Your choice? Your choice? Your brother is dying and you're talking about your choice? Yes, I said. It's my body. My choice. You're selfish, my mother said. She was crying. You're selfish and cruel, and I don't even recognize you. I'm sorry you feel that way. But my answer is no. Then don't bother coming to his funeral, my father said, because his death will be on your hands. They hung up. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. 2 weeks later, I received a letter from a law firm. My parents were suing me for refusing to donate my kidney. I read the letter 3 times, not believing what I was seeing. They were actually trying to legally compel me to undergo surgery and give my brother my kidney. The lawsuit claimed that I had a duty to help save my brother's life, that refusing to donate was negligent and inflicted emotional distress on the family. They were seeking a court order mandating that I undergo compatibility testing and, if I was a match, proceed with the donation. I was stunned, horrified, furious. I called a lawyer immediately. My lawyer's name was David. He specialized in medical law and bioethics. I sent him the lawsuit and he called me back within an hour. This is insane, he said. Completely insane. Can they actually do this? Can they force me to donate? No. Absolutely not. Bodily autonomy is a fundamental right. No one can be forced to undergo medical procedures they don't consent to, not even to save someone's life. So why are they suing? Honestly, probably desperation. And maybe they think the threat of a lawsuit will pressure you into changing your mind. It won't. Good. Because this lawsuit has zero legal merit. I'll file a motion to dismiss. This won't even make it to trial. What about the emotional distress claim? Can they sue me for that? They can try. But causing emotional distress by exercising your legal right to refuse medical treatment? That's not going to fly with any judge. I felt relieved, but also incredibly sad. My parents were so desperate to save Michael that they were willing to sue me, their own daughter, to try to force me to give up part of my body. The lawsuit made the local news. My name was withheld, but the story spread quickly. Parents sue daughter for refusing to donate kidney to sick brother. The internet had opinions, lots of opinions. Half the people said I was a monster. That family is everything. That I had 2 kidneys and my brother had none and I was letting him die out of spite. The other half said I had every right to refuse, that my body was my own, that Michael had made his own choices and I wasn't responsible for fixing them. The comments were vicious on both sides. People I'd never met calling me a murderer. Other people defending my bodily autonomy. It was overwhelming. My parents gave interviews, said I'd always been difficult, that I was jealous of Michael, that I was punishing him for being more successful than me. None of it was true, but the narrative was out there. The selfish sister who wouldn't save her dying brother. The motion to dismiss was heard 3 weeks later. I didn't have to attend, but I wanted to. I wanted to see my parents, wanted them to see me. They sat on the opposite side of the courtroom. Didn't look at me. My lawyer argued that the lawsuit was frivolous, that bodily autonomy is a constitutionally protected right, that no one can be compelled to donate organs or undergo medical procedures against their will. My parents' lawyer argued that I had a moral obligation, that family members have a duty to help each other, that my refusal was causing irreparable harm. The judge listened to both sides. Then she spoke. I understand that this is an incredibly difficult situation for this family. Having a loved one facing kidney failure is devastating. However, the law is clear. Every person has the absolute right to refuse medical treatment, including organ donation. The court cannot and will not order someone to undergo surgery against their will. This lawsuit is dismissed. My parents' lawyer tried to argue. The judge cut him off. Counselor, I am sympathetic to your client's situation, but there is no legal basis for this claim. The motion to dismiss is granted. This case is closed. It was over. I'd won. But I didn't feel like I'd won anything. After the hearing, I tried to approach my parents in the hallway. They turned away from me, walked out without a word. I went home and cried for hours. Not because I regretted my decision, but because my family had been willing to go this far, to sue me, to try to force me to give up part of my body. For Michael. Always for Michael. It's been 6 months since the lawsuit was dismissed. Michael is still on dialysis, still waiting for a kidney. His health is declining. My parents haven't spoken to me. They've told the extended family not to speak to me either. I'm effectively disowned. Some relatives reached out anyway. My cousin Amy called me and said she supported me, that what my parents did was wrong, that I had every right to say no. My Uncle Mark sent me a text. I don't agree with your decision, but I understand it, and I don't think you should have been sued. Small gestures, but they meant something. Last week, I got a call from an unknown number. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. It was Michael. Sarah, he said. His voice was weak, tired. I didn't say anything. I want to apologize for everything, for how I treated you growing up, for making fun of you, for being an asshole, for the drinking and the drugs, for putting you in this position. I was shocked. Michael had never apologized for anything in his life. And I want you to know I don't blame you for not donating. Mom and Dad shouldn't have sued you. That was wrong. You have the right to say no. I started crying. Thank you for saying that. I wasted my life, Sarah. I had everything and I threw it away. And now I'm paying for it. But that's on me, not on you. You don't owe me your kidney. You don't owe me anything. I'm sorry you're going through this, I said. Me too. But maybe I deserve it. Maybe this is karma. I don't think anyone deserves this, I said. Maybe not. But I made my choices, and you're making yours. And that's okay. We talked for a few more minutes. Then he had to go. Said he was exhausted from dialysis. Before he hung up, he said one more thing. I love you, Sarah. I should have said that more. I'm sorry I didn't. I love you too, Michael. I don't know what's going to happen. Michael might get a kidney from the transplant list. Or he might not. His health might improve. Or it might keep declining. But I know I made the right decision. For me. Saying no doesn't make me a bad person. Refusing to undergo major surgery doesn't make me selfish. Protecting my own body doesn't make me cruel. And my parents trying to sue me to force my compliance? That was wrong. Deeply wrong. Bodily autonomy matters, even when the stakes are high, even when someone you love is suffering, even when your family is pressuring you. Your body is yours, and no one else has the right to it, not even to save a life. So here's my question for all of you. If your family member needed an organ and you were a match, would you donate? Even if that person had caused their own illness through years of destructive behavior? And if you said no, would you be wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Not the asshole if you think I have the right to refuse. You're the asshole if you think I should have donated to save my brother. Everyone sucks here. If you think the whole family handled this badly. No assholes here. If you think this is just an impossible situation with no good answers, and if you've ever been pressured to donate an organ or undergo medical treatment you didn't want, share your story. You're not alone. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more stories about family pressure, boundaries, and standing up for yourself. See you in the next episode. What I didn't tell you is what happened in the months after Michael's apology call, because that's when everything got even more complicated. About 3 weeks after Michael called me, my phone rang again. Unknown number. I hesitated but answered. Sarah? It was a woman's voice. Unfamiliar. Yes? My name is Jennifer. I'm Michael's girlfriend. I didn't know Michael had a girlfriend. We hadn't exactly been keeping in touch. I need to talk to you, she said. Can we meet for coffee? Something in her voice made me say yes. We met at a Starbucks near my apartment. Jennifer was petite, blonde, well-dressed. She looked exhausted. Thank you for meeting me, she said. I know this is weird, but I needed to talk to you away from your family. Okay. She took a deep breath. I've been with Michael for almost 2 years. I was there when he collapsed at work. I've been with him through all the dialysis, all the hospital visits, everything. I'm sorry you're going through that. She shook her head. That's not why I'm here. I'm here because I need you to understand what actually happened, what your parents aren't telling you. What do you mean? Jennifer pulled out her phone, started scrolling through photos, found one and showed it to me. It was Michael, at a bar, drink in hand, big smile on his face. The date stamp said 3 weeks ago. He's still drinking, she said. Not as much as before, but he hasn't stopped. And your parents know. I stared at the photo. Are you serious? She showed me more photos, more bars, more drinks. Social media posts of Michael at clubs, parties, restaurants with cocktails. The transplant team told him he has to be completely sober for 6 months before they'll even consider him for a transplant, Jennifer said. He's lying to them about it. And your parents are covering for him. Why are you telling me this? Because your parents sued you. They told the whole family you're letting Michael die. They made you into the villain. But the truth is, Michael is still destroying his body and refusing to take responsibility for it. I felt rage building in my chest. They knew. My parents knew Michael was still drinking and they sued me anyway. There's more, Jennifer said. Michael asked me to get tested, to see if I was a match. And? I am. I'm a perfect match. And I was willing to do it. I love him. I wanted to save him. What happened? The transplant team rejected me as a donor. Because Michael is still drinking. They said they won't transplant a kidney into someone who's actively destroying their body. They said Michael has to prove 6 months of complete sobriety with regular testing before they'll reconsider. So even if I'd donated, they wouldn't have done the surgery? Exactly. Your parents sued you for a kidney that couldn't even be transplanted. Because Michael won't stop drinking. I sat back in my chair, processing this. The entire lawsuit, the public shaming, the family turning against me. All of it was based on a lie. Does Michael know you're telling me this? I asked. No. But I don't care anymore. I'm done. I'm breaking up with him. I can't watch him kill himself while everyone pretends he's a victim. I'm sorry. Don't be. I just thought you deserved to know the truth. You didn't do anything wrong. You were the only one in your family being honest about the situation. After Jennifer left, I sat in that Starbucks for an hour, staring at nothing, thinking about everything. I called my lawyer David, told him what Jennifer had told me. So Michael is still drinking and the transplant team won't operate on him anyway? That's what she said. That changes things. If your parents sued you knowing that a transplant wasn't even possible, that's different. That might actually be grounds for a countersuit. For what? Malicious prosecution. Defamation. They dragged your name through the mud, made you a public villain, sued you for something that was medically impossible. You might have a case. I don't want to sue my parents, I said. I understand. But you should know you have options. Think about it. I thought about it. For days. Part of me wanted to sue them, wanted to expose the truth, wanted everyone who'd called me selfish and cruel to know that I'd been right all along. But another part of me was just tired. Tired of fighting, tired of the drama, tired of this family that had never valued me except as a potential organ donor. I decided to write a letter instead, to my parents. To Michael, to everyone who'd judged me. I laid out everything Jennifer had told me, the continued drinking, the transplant team's refusal, the fact that my kidney couldn't have saved Michael even if I'd wanted to give it. I wrote about how they'd made me the villain when the real problem was Michael's unwillingness to get sober, how they'd sued me knowing the surgery was impossible, how they'd destroyed our relationship over a lie. I ended with this. I hope Michael gets the help he needs. I hope he gets sober and gets a kidney and lives a long, healthy life. but I will not be part of this family anymore. You made your choice when you sued me, when you chose to protect Michael's image instead of facing the truth. I'm done. I sent the letter by email to my parents, Michael, and every family member who'd harassed me about not donating. Then I blocked all their numbers. The responses came fast. Angry emails, voicemails on my work phone, messages through mutual friends. My father sent an email calling me a liar, saying Jennifer was just a scorned ex trying to cause trouble, saying Michael was doing everything right and I was making excuses. My mother sent an email saying I was destroying the family, that I was selfish and ungrateful and she regretted raising me. Several relatives sent apologetic messages. My cousin Amy said she'd suspected something like this was happening. My uncle Mark said he should have questioned the narrative more. But most of them defended my parents, said I was being cruel by exposing Michael's drinking, that I should have kept it private. That family handles things internally. Sure. The same way they internally decided to sue me and publicly call me a murderer. I deleted all the messages. I was done with all of them. 6 weeks after I sent the letter, I got a call at work, the hospital where Michael was being treated. Is this Sarah Thompson? Yes. I'm calling about your brother Michael Thompson. He's been admitted to the ICU. He's in critical condition and the family asked us to contact you. What happened? His kidneys have completely failed. He's unconscious. The doctors aren't sure he'll make it through the night. Your parents thought you'd want to know. I sat there holding the phone, feeling nothing. No panic, no rush of emotion, just emptiness. Thank you for letting me know, I said, and hung up. I didn't go to the hospital, didn't call my parents, didn't rush to Michael's bedside. I went home, made dinner, watched TV, went to bed. If that makes me a bad person, so be it. Michael didn't die that night. He stabilized. They put him on emergency dialysis and he recovered enough to be conscious again. My mother called my office. The receptionist put her through before I could stop it. He almost died, she said. No hello. No, how are you? Just accusation. Your brother almost died and you didn't even come to the hospital. I heard, I said calmly. How can you be so cold? Don't you care at all? I care that he's still drinking. I care that you sued me knowing he wasn't eligible for transplant. I care that you turned the entire family against me over a lie. There was silence. Michael is trying, she said finally. He's doing his best. His best isn't good enough. And that's not my problem to fix. If he dies, it's because of his own choices, not mine. I'm done taking responsibility for Michael's life. I'm done being blamed for his failures. I'm done with all of you. I hung up. It's been 8 months now since the lawsuit was dismissed. Michael is still alive, still on dialysis. I heard through a mutual acquaintance that he's in a rehab program now, actually trying to get sober this time. I hope he makes it. I genuinely do. But I haven't reached out, haven't called, haven't checked in. I've built a new life, new friends, new boundaries. I started therapy to process all the family trauma, started dating someone who respects my choices and doesn't think I owe pieces of my body to anyone. I'm happier than I've been in years. My cousin Amy stayed in touch. She told me that the family has slowly started to fracture over what happened. Some people have started questioning my parents' version of events. Some have asked why Michael is still on dialysis if he's been sober for months like my parents claimed. The truth has a way of coming out eventually. Amy also told me that my parents are struggling financially. The lawsuit costed them a lot of money. Their lawyer fees were substantial, and they're dealing with Michael's ongoing medical bills. She said my mother mentioned maybe reaching out to me, maybe trying to reconcile. I told Amy to tell her not to bother. Here's what I learned from all of this. Families can be toxic, even when they say they love you, even when they're desperate and scared. Boundaries matter, even when enforcing them makes you look like the bad guy. Your body is yours. Period. No one has the right to guilt you or sue you or pressure you into giving up part of yourself. And sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is walk away from people who only value you for what you can give them. I don't regret my decision. Not for a second. Could I have saved Michael's life if I'd donated? Maybe. If he'd gotten sober. If the transplant team had approved it. If everything had gone perfectly. But those are a lot of ifs, and they all required Michael to take responsibility for his own health first. That wasn't my job, it was his. Would I do anything differently if I could go back? Maybe I would have pushed back harder when Michael first started drinking heavily. Maybe I would have confronted my parents about their favoritism sooner. But I wouldn't change my decision about the kidney. That was the right choice. For me. And that's what matters. If you're reading this and you're being pressured to donate an organ or do something medical you don't want to do, know this. You have the right to say no. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to prove you have a good enough reason. No is a complete sentence. Your family might be angry, they might cut you off, they might call you selfish, but your body is yours. And you get to decide what happens to it. If anyone wants to call me an asshole for refusing to donate my kidney, go ahead. I can live with that. What I couldn't live with was being forced into a medical procedure I didn't want, living with the physical and emotional consequences of a donation I wasn't ready for, spending the rest of my life wondering if I'd made the right choice. Now I know I did. Michael's life is not my responsibility. His health is not my burden to bear. I am not his backup kidney. I am not his safety net. I am not his second chance. I am my own person, with my own life, my own choices, my own future, and I choose me. Thanks for listening to my story. If this resonated with you, hit subscribe. Drop a comment with your thoughts. Share your own story of family pressure and boundary setting. Remember, you don't owe anyone your body, not your family, not your friends, not anyone. Your life, your choice, always. See you next time.